Look, if you've spent the last 20 years in the skilled trades, out on a manufacturing floor, behind the wheel of a truck, or running a service crew, I want to kick things off by validating something you already know in your gut. You solve massive problems under intense pressure, you lead teams, and you deliver when the deadlines are actually real. You've got this incredible, battle-tested leadership and operational experience. But if you're over 40 and trying to transition off the floor and into a comfortable office role, you're probably just getting ignored. So you're wondering, why aren't they calling me back? Well, here is the core reframe for this whole explainer. Right off the bat, your experience is absolutely not the problem. Zero. The problem is just a massive miscommunication. The skills, they're already there. But the words you're using to describe them, they're just the wrong words for the specific audience reading them. Today, we're going to show you exactly how to go from blue collar to white collar. I am so pumped to walk you through this. We are literally going to take your years of seasoned, hard-earned expertise and give it a complete repackaging. As you'll see, your hands-on background isn't a liability. It's actually a completely unfair advantage in the corporate world when you present it the right way. Okay, let's dive into our strategic playbook. We're going to uncover the hidden translation problem, check out the resume translation table, look at some fast-track bridge certifications, find your absolute best landing roles, and then wrap up with a 2-week transition sprint. All right, kicking things off with the hidden translation problem. When you're trying to make this career jump, especially a little later in your career, you're basically fighting a two-front war. Trade to office skepticism on one side and age bias on the other. But honestly, both of these stem from how your experience is being communicated. Think about this contrast. Your actual day-to-day ability might involve safely running a 12-person crew across 3 active job sites at the exact same time. That is high-level, complex management. But the vocabulary on your resume probably just says supervised crew on construction sites. When a corporate hiring manager or one of those automated applicant tracking systems scans that phrase, they just read manual labor. They totally miss the leadership. It's a translation problem, plain and simple. The hiring system speaks office, and your resume is still speaking shop floor. Which brings us to the single highest leverage move you can make, the resume translation table. I literally cannot overstate how important this is. Converting your shop floor reality into corporate terminology is everything. Every single blue-collar role has these highly valuable white-collar competencies buried right inside it. They're just hidden behind trade-specific language. We're going to pull those out right now because, honestly, corporate jargon isn't magic. It's just a different dialect. Let's actually walk through some of these out loud. On the trade side, maybe you wrote, followed OSHA protocols. Okay, in the professional world, we call that risk management. So, let's translate it. Enforced safety and regulatory compliance. Boom! Suddenly, you aren't just following the rules like a rank-and-file worker. You are actively managing organizational risk. It's the exact same work, just dressed up in office language. What about being a crew lead? Let's say you have supervised a 5-person crew. Let's change that to led a cross-functional team of 5 specialists. That's team leadership. You're showing the corporate world that your management experience is real management experience. You didn't just stand around watching folks work. You led a highly specialized team to get a complex project across the finish line. Now, let's look at equipment troubleshooting. If your resume says fixed heavy machinery, we need to elevate that. Diagnosing complex mechanical systems under serious pressure, that is deeply analytical work. So we translate it to managed a preventative maintenance program. That, my friends, is operations analysis. You used root cause analysis to reduce unplanned downtime? Let me tell you, that phrase is absolute music to a corporate operations manager's ears. And let's hit these last 2 conversions. If you were training apprentices, you were actually doing learning and development. You were designing and delivering structured onboarding. And if you spent years driving routes, you were engaged in logistics coordination and route optimization, literally balancing on-time delivery against labor efficiency. See how empowering this is? You don't need a personality transplant to work in an office. You literally just need a new vocabulary. Next up, let's tackle fast-track bridge certifications. Look, I know there's a lot of anxiety out there about credentials. You scroll through job postings demanding 4-year degrees, and it feels like hitting a brick wall. But here's the absolute truth. For the roles you're going after, you don't always need a 4-year degree to prove you belong. What you do need are targeted bridge credentials. If you're looking at operations and project management, check out the Google Project Management Certificate, the KPM or the PMP. And to quality assurance, Six Sigma or lean manufacturing certifications are gold. For safety roles, get an OSHA 30 or a CSP. And this is crucial. To wipe out any lingering doubts about your computer skills, grab Microsoft and Google Workspace credentials. These bridge credentials map perfectly to the operational skills you already have. They basically prove on paper that you can operate smoothly in a modern corporate setting. And please, use the 80-20 approach here. Put 80% of your energy into these fast-track certifications. And here's the best part. You often don't even have to pay for them yourself. Employers, trade unions, and veterans benefits programs will frequently foot the entire bill for these exact certifications because they want to upskill their workforce. Seriously, let them fund your bridge to the corporate world. Moving right along to the best landing roles. We've got to be highly strategic about where you're aiming, because let's be clear, you are not starting over at the bottom. You want to target jobs where your 20 years of hands-on background is a massive unfair advantage, not something you have to apologize for. Look at these direct landing roles: project management, operations, quality assurance, safety, and facilities. Think about it. In a manufacturing plant or a construction firm, the project manager who has actually turned a wrench on the floor will always outperform the one who only ever studied it in a textbook. You should also look at adjacent roles, like technical sales or customer success at industrial tech companies. They are practically begging for people who understand their product from the actual end user's perspective. Your field experience is exactly what they're hunting for. All right, let's bring it all together with your 2-week transition sprint. We've got the strategy. Now we need tactical execution. And part of that execution means we have to handle the reality of ageism, mechanically and decisively. A really long, dated work history broadcasts your age long before your actual fit for the job is ever evaluated. We stop that bias cold with tactical age deflection. Here's what you do. You are only going to detail the last 15 years of your work history, period. Drop all your graduation dates, get rid of those trade certifications from the 1990s, and format the whole thing into a clean, modern, single-column layout that an applicant tracking system can easily read. We want to present you as a seasoned, modern professional. Let's see how this builds into your actual schedule. Week 1 is all about translation. You pull your work history, rewrite every single bullet using our translation table to focus on outcomes, and you fix those age signals we just talked about. Then, week 2 is credentials and targeting. You enroll in just one fast-track bridge certification, and you build a highly targeted list of 15 to 20 transition-friendly employers, specifically places known to promote from within and that really value field experience. Now, if you want to put this entire process on fast forward, a tool like PassTheScan.com is a real game changer here. It's an AI tool built to do exactly what we've been talking about. It scans your resume for ATS compatibility, actively flags any of those lingering age signals that might be working against you, and it actually suggests specific professional rewrites to translate your hands-on experience into those shiny corporate competencies. It's basically the ultimate tool to help you execute this sprint. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on. Are you ready to apply 2 decades of hands-on judgment in a strategic capacity? Honestly, never hide where you came from. When you walk into that interview, frame this transition as an advancement. Remind them that you bring a practical, grounded operational perspective that those office-only candidates literally just do not have. Remember, your experience travels with you. You just had to learn the language. Now get out there and make the jump. Thanks for joining this explainer, and we'll see you next time.